Hi guys, Gareth here from the Flip Flop University. In this video we're going to be looking at the basics of setting up a WordPress site, and in future videos we're going to be looking at setting up child themes, why they're a good idea to use, setting up Google Analytics to get rich data from our visits, setting up Facebook pixels for retargeting ads, and setting up some SEO. If you find this video beneficial, give us a thumbs up, a like, and subscribe to our channel. Alright, so let's get stuck into setting up the basics of a WordPress site. Okay, so let's look at getting your WordPress site up and running. So first of all, to get your site going, obviously you're going to need a domain and you're going to need web hosting. For the average person, they're going to set up their domain and purchase their web hosting from the same company, in which case all your DNS and all the rest will be done and set up and ready to go. If you have an existing domain already that you may have purchased from wherever and you are now setting up web hosting, then just bear in mind that you do need to make sure that your DNS records are correct for your web hosting. That is for possibly a different tutorial. In this case, we're going to assume that you have set up your domain and your web hosting with the same company, in which case everything is ready to rock and roll. Okay, so I use Interserver just because I do. I've been using Interserver for a couple of years now. I've dealt with their support extensively. Their support is excellent. Their pricing is very competitive. They are just under the price of HostGator. I'll drop a link to Interserver in the video description. Just a disclaimer, if you do use that, I do get a benefit out of it, just so you are aware. Okay, so with your web hosting, you're going to be getting some kind of a control panel. In this case, we are using cPanel. Go down to the bottom and we're looking for WordPress. Okay, so we're going to be setting up. I've got a number of other websites on this web hosting. I'm going to be setting up a new WordPress site. The options here, HTTP and HTTPS. Don't worry too much about the www. The difference between HTTP and HTTPS is using an SSL certificate to encrypt the traffic between your website and the device calling the website. If you need to have your website encrypted, in other words, if you've got confidential data or financial data, or you just don't want anyone looking into your data that's going over the wire, whether it's wireless or wired, then use HTTPS. For this example, I'm not going to be using HTTPS. I'm going to select the domain. In this case, I'm using myleadsteam.com, which is a spare domain I have. This option here is going to create a folder in your root directory where all of the files are going to go. I want my files to go in the root directory, so I won't be using that. This is a description for your site, so the name of your site and description. We can change that later. This is for multi-site. We're not going to be using that. You obviously want to be setting a username and password. I suggest that you don't use the default of admin and rather change it. I'm going to call this one leads admin, and do yourselves a favor and make a record excuse me, make a record of these details. Password, use whatever password you want, and once again record it. This is the email address that WordPress is going to send admin related emails to. For example, if your site has been upgraded or a plugin's been upgraded or what have you, that is what that's for. Okay, limit login attempts, we're not going to do that. In advanced, okay, this is the database name. You don't need to worry too much about this. If you do have multiple sites like I do on this web hosting, then I'm going to have multiple domains. So in my case, I'm going to change this. My MLT for my leads team. You really don't need to change this if this is your first site. Leave it as default. Same for the table prefix. I'm not too bothered about the table prefix. Okay, disable update notifications. If you don't want to be notified of when WordPress gets upgraded and so on, you can turn those off. I actually don't need those notifications. Auto upgrade, I suggest you do turn on auto WordPress upgrade. This is going to upgrade the version of WordPress website itself to when new versions come out. Sorry guys, itchy nose. WordPress plugins. I like to approve my plugins myself. The themes, I don't mind being updated. If you're using if you are updating your themes directly, which I highly suggest you don't, but if for some reason you have to, don't select this option because each time it auto upgrades, it's going to override your changes, which is why I suggest you don't make changes directly to the PHP files themselves. There is a better method using child themes, which I may add in a different video, which is a much better way of managing changes to your PHP, but that's rather advanced. We're not covering that in this video. Okay, backup location, leave it as default. Automated backups, automated backups, I want it to back up every week. Rotation of 4 is fine, and I'm just going to select any theme for now. We'll change it later, and we are installing. Okay, we are fully installed now, and if we go to our website, currently it's showing, previously it was showing just the files. If I refresh this, it should now give me some kind of a default page, which it is. And if I go to the admin page, which is myleadsteam.com/wp-admin, I now have my backend when it connects. It's taking quite a bit of time. Let's refresh that. There we go. And we log in. There we go. Great. So now we have our basic WordPress site set up and ready to go. So there's a couple of changes I want to make to the defaults. That pop-up previously is you can backtrack on the video. That pop-up was related to GDPR, which I highly suggest you take note of if you are collecting emails or any kind of contact details for users in Europe. Make sure that you apply by those regulations. If you are not collecting any kind of user data at all, or no user data from Europe, you can totally ignore it. Okay, I'm going to be changing my site title to My Leads Team, and I'm just going to call this my site for now, for lack of a better description. That will work on later. What else? We want to be changing my time zone. I am in South Africa, which is GMT +2 or UTC, same thing. My date format, I want the day first, month second, and I want 24-hour. Save changes. Okay, in writing, I don't think there's anything here I want to change. No. Reading. Okay, this is important. This is either your latest blog post as your homepage, or a static page as your homepage. For now, I'm going to select a static page. I'm going to use the sample page as an example. That will be changed at a later point in time. That is the only change I need. Make sure you don't tick this unless there's some real reason to tick it. This will affect your SEO performance of your website. This is how your permalink permalinks are going to be named. I like to use post name. It means that whatever I name the page, my permalink is automatically going to be changed to that. That is good for SEO. It makes the permalink human readable, which is good for your crawlers, your search engine crawlers. And in privacy, okay, so you want to set a privacy policy, especially if you fall under GDPR regulations. I'm just going to use that draft for now. Okay, so if we look at our site, nothing has changed. We have a sample page that I selected when I changed to a static page. So let's have a look at some plugins. There are some plugins that I prefer to use. This Ikismet anti-spam actually works quite well. I suggest you activate it and link it. You're going to link this to your WordPress account. I'm not going to go through it right now. This Hello Dolly, this can be deleted. You don't need to keep that. Then we are going to be adding a few other useful plugins. The first of them is Jetpack. Jetpack is a very useful WordPress plugin that does a bit of tracking of usage. It has some really useful social media links, social media sharing, as well as links to your Facebook page. Well worth using. I use it in all of my sites. Set up Jetpack. Let's go through this very quickly. It's linking to my WordPress account. I'm approving it. And Jetpack is now linked to my WordPress and it's ready to go. You're all set. Okay, this is asking me what payment plan I want. I don't want a payment plan. For now, I want to use the free Jetpack. The Jetpack is very well worth looking at the paid option, but for now we're not going to go into that. Go back to plugins, and what else? We are going to be looking at Yoast. So add new. We're going to be looking for Yoast. This is used for SEO. It's an excellent plugin. Once Yoast is set up, or once Yoast is installed, you can go through an initial wizard, and Yoast will ask you a bunch of questions based on your site. We won't do that now. That's actually another good example of a video which I'll do later on. And this will go through asking you questions based on what your use case for your website, and then it'll configure analysis of your website for SEO based on what you've put in, and then for each page and each page post, and even e-commerce products, it'll give you a SEO score and breakdown of what the current SEO for that page is, the goods and the bads, as well as what you can do to remedy the bads. Very, very good. Okay, so that is that from a plugins point of view. Let's look at themes. Okay, so I've used quite a few themes in the past. Each person to their own. What I think is really good may be rubbish in your eyes, who knows. There are quite a few themes I've used that I think are really good. I've downloaded a lot of them and I have them stored locally. Let's go through some of them. I can't see that text box, so let me just minimize that. Okay, so WordPress themes. Divi is another page builder theme. Once again, be careful of page builder themes, but this is a very good theme. It's a paid for theme. Aurvey is a very nice graphical theme, and it's the one we're going to use on this site. Shapely, also very good. It's also very good for e-commerce. Talking about e-commerce, let's go here. Talking about e-commerce, one theme that is worth mentioning is the VW e-commerce shop. Excellent, excellent theme. I've dealt with the devs directly on some issues I had with product layouts, and although I was using their free theme, they really came to the party and helped me get around those issues. So I highly recommend VW e-commerce shop. There's a few others there that you can check out. Storefront is the default WooCommerce e-commerce theme for WooCommerce. What else have I used here? Yeah, so VW e-commerce I highly recommend. So let's go back to WordPress themes, and we are going to be using Ildly, however you want to pronounce that, for this particular website. We are installing. Okay, and okay, so that's giving me a bit of problems. So what I'm going to do then is, oops, go back one. Oh, come on. I am just going to do a search for it. ILD. This is the one. We're going to be installing this. There it is. Activate. Okay, so we now have Ildly set up on our site, and if you look at it here, we have the site set up. Okay, so our site is looking good. There, with a lot of WordPress themes, a lot of good ones that have been built quite nicely, they come out with starter instructions almost to get you going with that theme. This particular theme, Ildly, they also have demo content. So you can go through setting up the demo content, which I've done already, which gives you all of this content that you can use as a trial basis. Actually, that is not set up. So let's go through that quickly. Check with recommendations, install the companion. You need the companion to use the widgets in this particular theme. The contact form is used for the contact form 7 is used for the contact section further down on the home page. Right, let's just refresh this page. Import demo content. Okay, so now if we have a look at this page and refresh, we should now have demo content. That looks much better. So now we have demo content which we can play with, and each of these sections can be removed or changed completely from within the theme customization. Every theme within WordPress has a customization section. You can then go into the theme itself and customize the theme from within the theme. I'm not going to go too much into that now. This video is already 20 minutes long. I'm going to leave it here. In the next tutorial, we're going to go over setting up Google Analytics, and another video for Facebook Pixels, and another video for SEO. So there's quite a bit of content coming through. Thank you very much, guys, for listening all the way to the end. If you like this video, please like and subscribe down below, and we'll see you for the next video. Take it easy. Cheers, guys.